gamers. Welcome to episode 7 of Cinema Curse Bottoms, a new queer girl high school comedy written and directed by Emma Seligman, reteaming with the Bobby De Niro to her Marty Scorsese, Rachel Sennott. Though I guess considering how early in the career it is, she's more the the Harvey Keitel. Co-written by Sennott, co-starring her and Ayo Edebiri, breakout star The Bear, which I haven't seen. I keep seeing all the billboards. Everyone keeps telling me this. Keep seeing the guy with the face, and he's giving me the food, and I'm like, I'm good.
The hot one.
Is there even a?
To watch it for the...
Is there even a bear in this?
Watched it yet.
There's not. I mean, they look at some, but like,
I don't know. I saw Cocaine Bear, and I got what I wanted. It was a bear and cocaine.
It's a different bear, and it's a much better, amazing bear.
All right,
it's worth a watch. Bear.
I'll move on.
Wait, is it bear? Is it bear in the gay sense, like gay community bear?
No, it's more of like I think it's like a nickname or something, and then it turns into like a restaurant name. It's not as It doesn't go super deep with the.
Then why would I watch it?
I'll deal with this later. But today we're talking that, and we're talking Emma and Rachel's first film, the truly nightmarish Shiva Baby, and the two lucky ladies themselves. I'm your wicked game master, Lloyd Crews, and joining me today, as always, but late, so he'll be popping in shortly, I assume, is the Joey Chestnut of talking about movies, Edwin Gomez. But also here are...
Oh my gosh, I'm spotlighted. I just became very aware of my background. Hey everyone, it's Daniel.
And...
That was really good.
Hey guys, it's Brian. How are you?
And...
Hey everyone, this is Scott. Good to see you.
And joining us for the first time...
My name's Lisee, and all my opinions are my own. Don't hold anything against me. I mean nothing I say.
She's crossing the picket line to be on our show.
Well, I am not. I checked with Daniel. I texted him. I said, "Can I do this?" And he said, "Yeah."
Okay.
I trust. If Daniel says I can do something,
well, I pull off my mask, and I'm actually Bob Iger.
No.
You're never working for Disney again.
It's been me the whole time.
Daniel and a friend of ours were picketing earlier today, and my joke would be, it would be so funny for you to be like picketing and being like, yeah, I hate blah, blah, blah studios. And Bob Iger just pulls up in a car and is like, oh my God, hey, how's it going? It's been so long. And you have to like go up to his car and be like, oh my God, hey man. Like, what if you're friends with the execs?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sorry, those free Disneyland tickets.
Thank God I can't get hired to save my life, so I don't have to worry about that.
I wish I had free Disneyland tickets. I want to go to that secret club.
When I was 18, a boy I met on Tinder begged me to come meet him at that club, and I was so happy that I had the excuse of I was currently babysitting 2 children that were 16 there, and I didn't have to, but he was very persistent, and I was like, I'm not going to your little murder Disney club. I will not be there.
They used to be the only place they serve alcohol. I think they serve alcohol everywhere now because they probably realized it's a business decision. They don't give a shit. They were whatever.
Turns out the money's green either way.
Yeah.
Sober or not.
I want to thank Marina Sakimoto and her band Shenkin for the use of their song Curse off of the EP She Nods for our intro. Let's...
Marina, if you're listening, quit being a coward and press it to vinyl.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That one. I just found out that you can make like personal vinyls. Like you can like
oh my gosh,
call up this company.
Topic.
I'm sorry.
But let's talk about Bottoms. Who wants to explain give a basic summary of Bottoms?
Oh my God, I can do this.
Don't do what I think you're gonna do.
Do it.
Or do,
So
yeah.
I'm not. I'm going to give a summary of the movie. I will not go into intricacies of gay sex. So it stars two little besties from high school, and they're both queer, slay, and they want to date two of the hottest girls in school. So essentially, that they end up with this whole plot to start like a feminist like fight club essentially, and they eventually join and they have this whole fight club and stuff, and then it goes into a superhero movie essentially, and people die.
People die.
That's
People
honestly
do
a pretty good selling. That's
Yeah,
a good way to say it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank
That
you.
was it.
But everyone's gay and it's awesome.
It is the queerest of worlds, and it is the best version of it that I've seen. It's so amazing. I saw it again last night with Casey, who I thought he was coming on today, but
he couldn't make it, unfortunately.
copy.
He actually texted me and said that he hates me personally, and that's why he didn't want to join.
That makes sense.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
Mhm.
just had to figure that out. But loved everything about this movie so much. It's like definitely the funniest thing I've seen. And honestly, the pop star was probably the last time I've laughed this hard. Pop star never stopped stopping.
You know, I sorry to interrupt, but I was thinking like this probably like Popstar was like the last great comedy. I think there's been a few lately that like are good, but I like it's the funniest movie I've seen since Popstar. But now I think like Bottoms might be able to like take the crown of like whatever comedies that can be compared to Bottoms. Like it's
Sure.
like because yeah, I agree. This is definitely the hardest I've laughed at a movie in a really really long time.
Same.
I personally am obsessed with I don't know how to say his name. It's like I just looked him up. Nicholas Galitzine.
Jeff.
Yeah, Gallatin, yeah.
Yeah. Because who played Jeff? Because
Amazing.
A, he's awesome. B, he's sexy, and C, he's really funny.
Yes.
And also, I love seeing a twink win.
Fair play, yeah.
It's funny how, like, to be genuine about that, it is really funny how gay all the football players are played, even
Everything,
though
the whole world.
in
Yes.
the context of what they're doing, he's not gay. You know what I mean?
No.
Like the actual actions he's taking. And I was thinking about that, like what does that joke come from? And not to like overanalyze a joke, but I wonder if you would agree with me. I think maybe it comes from the way that like male homoeroticism is very like normalized in like in like a good way, whereas opposed to female homoeroticism is either ostracized or like fetishized.
Right.
And I imagine it probably comes from that kind of frustration. Do you think I nailed it, Lisee?
I was gonna say because footballers are gay as hell.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah.
Even like the weird pervy guy at the end who's just like, I'm looking for the man on man.
Yeah.
Enough of this lesbian kissing.
Yeah,
Like everything was so self-aware of what it was doing, and I think that's what I love. Like to me, it felt like almost like a Jodie Hill scenario with the character developments, and it's everything. Everybody's off in a little bit of a way, but that's what's so wonderful about it. And it gave this world, this ultimate queer world, to feel authentic in every beat and not like it's forced. I'm doing this thing and this thing for these purposes.
Yeah,
it just was amazing.
Kaya Gerber,
amazing.
I would do anything she asked for forever.
Which one's that one?
Yes, I
think that she was
the
hot
Brittany.
super.
She's
was
PJ's love
Woman
interest.
Isabel. Yeah. She
Okay.
was PJ's love interest.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Agreed.
I don't really look at these women that way. So
Good for
that's
you.
that's
Yeah,
just
God.
just to me though.
We
God
appreciate that actually.
I think in fairness,
please.
we all kind of in this whole chat group, none of us decided to like, we're going to be the ones to go, nobody.
Yeah.
I think we're all on that good page for
Only,
this.
Well, I haven't
only
spoken
I'm
yet.
allowed to
Daniel's
object.
very-
As a married man,
masculine,
Only I'm allowed to objectify. So don't worry. If you guys need any objectifying done, text me on the
I'll
side, and
whisper.
I'll make it very vocal.
all right.
so
Yeah.
perfect. That's how I want
Yeah.
to deal with things. Passive aggressive is the way to do life.
Yeah,
really.
exactly. Just
Yeah, and there's also like for me a big thing I think why I loved it is it reminded me so much of like the Wayne Showalter Wet Hot American Summer sort of vibe, where like the world is a little crazy and everybody's sort of insane. And
there's no like
this is not
real
reality.
through line. Like the through line doesn't really make sense. It's just kind of like evolving.
Yeah, there's all.
It kind of takes a while before you realize that it's not.
Yeah,
like it's not reality. Like it plays like its first 20 minutes pretty straight, and
so to speak.
then sort of shifts. I think it had a lot of like John Waters vibe to me, and then like I think Heather's being a clear point of inspiration, but like in a really good way.
Yeah.
I really dug it as well for all the reasons above. I also like there's stuff about it that I think there's like slight frustrations I have with it that I think also make it so lovely, which is it's a mess. Like as a movie, it's kind of a mess. Like it just cuts along where I'm like, what? There are moments where I'm like, I honestly don't know what's happening 100%. Where there's like movement between things, like tonal shifts in style, where I'm like, they just threw everything they had at this. Like, they got a budget and they got to do whatever they want, and I find that very heartwarming. Even if it doesn't always completely work, I'm sort of like this is insane that you got to make this type of energy.
Yeah, Daniel, you're a straight man, so it wasn't for you. So shut the fuck up. Okay.
Sure.
I embraced all of the unhinged everything and thought it was fantastic in every way.
Yeah, I didn't mind.
The movie worked like my brain.
I didn't mind the flow because again, it's the Wet Hot American Summer thing. Where that movie, if you try to think about it on that level, it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like it's just a bunch of shit happening. And
I appreciate a movie that like has so many jokes, because like Apatow was like that whole era of comedy. They were jokes, but they were more like verbal, like witticisms and funny lines, and occasional things would happen. But this movie is full of like gags. It reminded me a lot of what was that movie we watched with the
Love on a Leash?
No.
Freaked.
Freaked, yeah, that
Freaked,
one.
Yeah, I could totally see that too.
Like that, an off reality and stuff. And I just appreciate a movie that can do that and do it well. And this movie did it very, very well.
I kept seeing on because quick side mention for Io, because she's perfect in every way, and I'm obsessed with her. She's so funny.
She and Rachel are like, I think gonna be huge. I hope they're both.
I mean, Io's in everything.
Well, she especially now. She's fucking
Theater Camp was so good, and she was so good in it. But I just saw on like TikTok or Twitter or something that apparently the whole like monologue that she gives when they're walking back to the car from the like little.
I was
going to
bring this whole thing up.
Yeah, where she's like, and I'm going to have to marry this pastor. I'm going to have to marry the gay guy, and he's going to be a pastor, and his sermons are good, but everyone knows he's fruity. Everyone knows he's fruity. And that was like an entire improv scene. And I think that I would let her kill me.
Oh yeah. Well, it's funny because last night I noticed it the second time around. Because that was my favorite thing of the entire movie. That was where you could tell their dynamic together, what they just naturally have. This is it, pure as it could be. And there was a moment where Rachel looks at the camera for a slight second. She was ready to lose it, but it was right before she delivered that ending of that whole piece where she just goes on to that the voice that she does for that. But like Rachel recognizes it, and she almost went into this like comatose, like I don't want to look at what's happening because I'm gonna lose it, so I'm just gonna kind of look down like this. And
that's amazing.
It's amazing. It's so that whole thing is probably my favorite sequence of like anything this year alone because of how real and authentic it felt.
That and anything. What's his name? The football guy.
Jeff, the second guy, or.
No, I mean like the actual footballer guy.
Oh.
In real life. The teacher.
Oh, Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch.
Amazing.
Anything that he did was
amazing.
Beautiful when it
he was incredible.
Feminism.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Daniel was saying something earlier about him.
Oh, he was like I see. I'm not like I don't follow football very closely, but I know he's often went viral on social media over the years because they would mic him up, and he apparently just has 1,000 things to mouth off about in the funniest way. And I saw an interview with someone involved in the movie that said that it was becoming an issue because he was breaking everyone on set in terms of like they were having trouble getting full takes because when his improv, everyone would break. I'm at A rules. I'm not as big of an improv person, and I think anytime your movie like works with it, you've like really pulled something off. 'Cause, you know, sometimes it can be really rambly, and this feels very like rooted in character to some degree, and I think the style of the world makes it work. But him especially is, I don't know how they. I'm not sure what got him involved in this, but I can't.
I'm not sure how they thought of him.
Yeah,
I just like the process of like how they even considered casting him.
just
Like
treating him
I
as a
can't
comedian.
imagine.
I think that's the right move.
Yeah, and they won.
Oh yeah.
I think was on an episode of that Murderville.
Yeah.
Guys...
Yeah.
He
was so
really,
funny.
really great on that. So I imagine that got him.
You're probably right.
Got his attention.
He was actually really funny in that.
Yeah.
I watched all of that. I will be honest.
Yeah, that show was great.
I'm gonna start eating some Bunch Crunch.
That's okay.
So,
Oh yeah, today's
that's a movie theater
episode
approved
is
snack there.
sponsored
So
by-
yeah,
It literally is from the movies. So
Yeah.
Leftover.
Right in theme.
wait, this is from Bottoms?
Did you just not
yeah,
eat it?
Probably is.
When was the
Laughing
last
too
movie
hard.
we saw?
Bottoms.
This is from Bottoms. I won.
All right.
That's
Look at you.
That's
That is showing up with the assignment ready.
Yeah.
good job.
Put that right there for marketing.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I also just I will say I do love with the idea that there was just no consequences for anything. That openness of realizing like we just killed a whole lot of people. We'll process
Yeah,
that.
it doesn't
later.
matter.
Like
It
amazing.
took me a bit to like realize that they were dead. Like it was such a bit of these fights were such a bit, and like it didn't register to me. I think until the sword thing. The guy falls on the sword. Where I was like, oh wait, are they dead?
Yeah.
Like that part of the comedy didn't even register. I feel like a second viewing will sort of make all this.
That
stuff
was definitely a
stick
turning
out.
point to that when it got ultra violent almost. Is that
I think the
falls in and
sword
it's
was
like-
the first one that like
Mhm.
actually like people were dying. I
Absolutely.
also loved the joke of nobody from the opposing team, none of the fans came.
Mhm.
Oh.
I thought
Red
that
flag.
was I thought it was funny, but also I thought like that's just a genius way to like save money on extras.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The pineapple juice bit was beautiful.
Yeah.
So good.
But also
You could tell they were working with like a pretty low budget. You know, I mean, there's really like maybe like 6 locations, like in the movie, 7 locations, 8 locations.
They apparently had a lot of trouble getting funding because they refused to change the script.
Oh, that's funny.
as they
And
should.
like the pitch is weird in terms of like if you pitch it as like this like satirical but also like pretty focused comedy about everything that it covers, and then be like we want $20 million.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much. Do you know how much it costs? Was it like 5 to 10?
I have to look. I mean,
Budget was
Let's check IMDb.
11.3 million.
Oh, okay.
11.3.
you can
And
definitely
it's
tell
like
there's
overperforming.
some times where you could feel it stretching a little bit, but to be fair,
There's some stuff where they're missing coverage, but
it's not a huge deal, and like even even movies that are like 300
stuff. It's so strong.
even movies that are like $300 million now look like shit sometimes, and so it's like whatever. Like if there's like no background extras or whatever.
I would say honestly, especially movies that cost $300 million seem to look like shit. Like I don't like that seems to be like we're gonna spend a lot of money. Is it gonna look good? Oh,
Unless
God,
it's
no.
Mission Impossible.
I mean, like there's
Right.
exceptions to those with Dune, but it seems like when they're like just pumping out the content, you know, it's just like we're gonna spend a whole lot of money. It's gonna
what
look
you
awful.
spend it on?
Yeah, right.
I cut you off earlier, Lisee.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did you have something you can't remember?
I can't, but I love talking, and I do have a topic about that. So I was Daniel had to hear a whole spiel about this earlier. I'm very how do I say passionate about queer people playing queer people instead of straight people playing queer people. And Rachel Sennott is straight, but I think that she hits a very thin line of exception where I'm like, you tried.
Yeah.
Like you've slept with a little girly before. Like, there's no way that you weren't like, like, and Daniel and I were talking, and we both were like, they don't kiss right. Like, when it's two straight people playing queer people, they don't kiss right.
So
like,
it's
when
always
like,
something's off in the smooching. I'm like, you never
it's
know.
always wrong. And so I was using the new movie Red, White, and Royal Blue because, first of all, I loved that book. Second of all, movie was fun. It was what I wanted it to be.
They kiss
but they kiss correct in it. They kiss like two men kissing, because it's always like a very specific thing. I know, I've seen porn, and so like, yeah, but like, no, Daniel, you can't do that till you're married. But I think that she has a very thin line of exception for that, where I'm like, yeah, this is fine.
Well, I wonder also if the fact, I mean, I don't know if this is true or not, the fact that the writer-director is queer and is her friend and made this part for her kind of lends an exception, like an authenticity to it.
But I also think that's so true. But I also think that like, the exception, like, I just think like, if you can be Jennifer Beals in The L Word and make that look so real, you can play a gay character. But if you're gonna come in and be straight and play this gay character, and then like, it's supposed to be like you guys kissing and you kiss like, meh.
It's like the Tom Hardy thing where he's like, I'm an actor, of course I fucked a man.
Of course no, literally, it should be a requirement. If you're gonna play a gay person, you gotta at least
suck a dick.
Yeah. Or
if you're a guy.
Reverse.
Either way. There's a lot of things.
Whoever you are.
And actually, I think add to the point of like willingly, like wanting to do this, not just like in the sense of like, I need this role. Like, you gotta actually want to do it. Like,
the dick,
you gotta actually want to do this.
The executive whose dick you suck to get the role doesn't count.
Fair play.
It's
when you're proving kind of like, I'm a queer actor, I can do the, I'm built for the queer role. You don't have to be full like I have a resume, but you gotta actually want to do this.
And you also have to be, you gotta make it look real. You gotta make the chemistry look real, because if not, I'm just watching two straight people kiss and I'm uncomfortable, they're uncomfortable, and I'm angry about it. I can always tell which one's straight, because A, they might look like a straight person, they don't have gay face. B, they don't move like a gay person. C, they're not hot. Gay people are hot, straight people are boring. Sorry, Daniel. I love you, King.
Oh, you're right. But you've spoken a lot about Rachel McAdams and Rachel Weisz, like spitting thing and disobedience. You said that was correct?
Yeah, because they did it okay.
Okay.
So are you giving approval to the Rachel Sennott and Ruby Cruz makeout towards the end of the film?
Absolutely. Which I don't know. I don't know if Ruby Cruz is queer or not. I assumed by everything about, I don't know their pronouns, I assumed them. I'm non-binarying them.
I'll look it up.
I assumed, but
she is also great in the movie. She's like the third lead. And she definitely doesn't get as much like funny stuff to do necessarily. I mean, she kind of does to a certain degree, specifically in her like obliviousness. But she's also like kind of the heart of the movie in certain ways.
Yeah. She makes things funny. Like she makes everything that she is doing funny and like heartwarming.
100%.
And I have a crush on her.
Yeah.
If she wants to call me, I'm single now.
Let me look. She identifies as queer. That's all.
A win. Call me queen.
And I've also
it's just a podcast of people being like, are they gay?
Literally.
That's the new podcast.
Also in the credits, the way Aya says suspenders over your nipples like a goddamn freak has been stuck in my head for the last like week or so. But yeah.
The way
And
that
I will
at
just
the end of the movie, I sprinted out of the theater because I had to pee so badly, and I heard that as I was like turning around the corner,
amazing.
and I was like, "Do I stop?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will also just say sonically with this one, and we also for the queer theme with Charlie XCX being the music of this one, amazing, incredible, and the Avril Lavigne needle drop that hit the feels really, really fucking hard. I love the feeling of this movie, like not knowing quite where it is. It's definitely it takes place in the 2000s somewhere because the use of flip phones and a phone book. So it's definitely in that weird middle point of it. But I just love all of that openness.
The Razor phone.
Yeah, I
the
noticed
Motorola
that.
Razor.
Like,
and
they
then
never
still using
really
a
call
phone
it
book
out.
though, where you're like, yeah, and I love that. But just having like Avril, you kind of felt where it was, and I love that. But Charlie XCX, all that original stuff, moved everything along beautifully. Absolutely, she's amazing.
Well, it's definitely very like millennial, like in its ways. In the
I think it reminded me like visually with like the flip phones and like some of the like those quick shots. It reminded me like a little bit of Scott Pilgrim. Which I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm just a little lad, but
for sure.
I
meant more.
It gave me same vibe.
I meant more millennial in terms of like the range of cultural references, like when a lot of millennials
early to mid 2000s,
like growing up in high school, being up on that.
It seemed to be take place around like 2005, 2007 because they mentioned 2003 in the past, but even Jeff, when they were like blowing up his car, he was listening to Discman.
I'm trying to picture.
I think technically,
if you just heard of this movie and you hear any of these details.
Yeah.
So it's like a high school thing about like this, like.
Yeah, we didn't do a spoilers on this one because it's kind of hard to spoiler the movie.
Yeah,
it's just a wild experience that see it.
I think it is set now because they say the thing about it's been 20 years since their last match with Huntington, and they mentioned 2003.
You mentioned like a 2003. You're right. That's so interesting.
It's a reality
the feeling, but again, that's also
exactly.
100%.
So
if you can kill people with no consequences, you're allowed to have a Motorola phone, which I mean happens all the time in 2023.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe you just but making it feel that without if it was technology laden and everything was like connected to the world of what we feel like today, maybe it wouldn't have hit as hard. Everything felt good because there weren't other distractions of where we live in 2023.
I could also see them just doing that because like that's their frame of reference for high school. Because like there was no like social media. There was no and then like just cell phones. And
how old is Rachel Sennott?
Well, Rachel's
29,
20, yeah.
She's 20 what?
27.
Late 20s.
27? Yeah, late
okay,
20s.
so she had an iPhone in high school.
Yeah.
I had my iPhone. I had a flip phone until like 7th grade.
It's right on the cusp there. I'm only a couple years. I'm because Emma Seligman's also 28, and so I'm early 30s. And Lisee, are you late 20s?
26.
26.
I'm mid 20s.
Mid 20s. Sorry. So it's kind of in between there. So it was on the cusp. Like I got some of that stuff towards the very end, some social media, and so but I can still see like when you're growing up, you have these ideas of like what these things are, and they kind of can.
It's smart as a plot device because it lets you not nitpick. Well, like why wouldn't they have just done this and warn them because it doesn't exist in the movie, and that's fine.
As a horror writer, that's why like most ideas I have for a lot of the ideas are like set in the 90s or earlier because it's like it's just way easier.
Or like the
I love that
of like there's a phone, but like it doesn't really make sense.
It's a clam phone,
yeah,
right?
Or like the clam
e-reader. Well, like I said, even using a phone book, it showed that like that was the time we had. Because I'm the oldest of everybody here, and I remember that it was like you're like, no, you still have to use the traditional ways of doing it. Yeah. That's what made me. That's what made me laugh at that part because I remember that we had cell phones. But
I have two things. I think that the new Screams did the best with like incorporating modern technology into horror without like making it seem dumb. Did so good with that. But my second thing is, I would love if I want a sequel, but I want I want them to remake the movie, but because when you guys were talking about it being based like 2003, 2005, I just had this image of it being based in 2001, right before September 11th, and the movie is them stopping 9/11. And I think that would be worth exploring.
Perhaps this is a world where that didn't happen.
Io and Rachel stop 9/11.
That would be, I would watch that series.
I'd watch it. Me and my friend Bobby want to do a video documentary. Bobby and Connor solve the Zodiac sometime soon.
Well,
so.
hasn't it already been solved for you, King?
That depends on who you ask. We're gonna solve it for real. No one's gonna have any questions this time.
Okay.
We're gonna take
solve like John Benet Ramsey's case instead.
We're gonna
I would really like to see that solved.
We're gonna take a Ouija board, go to one of the victim sites. So.
Okay, that sounds like a good way to get haunted and a smart idea.
It'll be a great idea.
I think it'd be funny if you ask the Ouija board like who killed you, and then like the Ouija just says you already know.
Fuck! Response: the Zodiac.
Yeah.
But yeah. Did the cops and the Zodiac killer ever just look up people named Zodiac? Because maybe he was just signing his name. You ever think about that?
Peter Zodiac.
Peter Zodiac. That would be so funny. I also just love the idea that like if I was on my deathbed, if I ever die, I think I'm gonna claim to be like some serial killer just as a bit.
Claim some unsolved crime.
Yeah, I'm gonna like find a series of like horrific crimes, and like on my deathbed, I'll just be like, I was the flower rose killer, and then die.
Hell yeah!
I was John Doe number 2 helping Timothy McVeigh.
That's like an instant legacy you can build yourself. Like you're just like, look, I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah. And then it would go everywhere, and then like the people who had actually done work on the cases would be like, you weren't even alive for the first.
Then they're just mad at you for it. Yeah, and you're just a giant hologram taunting them in the future, just like, yeah, I'm that killer. And they're like, no, we did.
I did it.
Yeah.
Well, not to. I think unless people have anything else major to say about Bottoms, we should talk about an earlier movie.
There's no topping Bottoms.
Oh.
You need to leave. You need to leave.
Remember the idea with the bars that I had? You know, it was you put up for as well.
Yeah.
I've seen.
Yeah.
I've seen. Oh wait, I do have one qualm with Bottoms that I was not personally asked by Rachel Sennott to be a part of it because as King Bottom, I built this castle, I built this house, I built this home, and they didn't even come to me and ask me personally for my blessing and to join said cause.
All right.
You don't shit in someone's house and not ask them.
All right. I'm just gonna move on.
That's all.
You hear that, Rachel?
That's a good way of wrapping up the.
You've been called out. Yeah.
You were looking for a wrap up. That's the way to do it.
So Bottoms was Emma's second film. Her first film was Shiva Baby, released. I believe that was a pandemic year release, right? Wasn't it on HBO Max or whatever?
I think it was 2019.
Is Daniel frozen or is he just doing a meme?
I was just going to ask you that. I was looking at him being like, is
he memeing?
That was pretty good.
Like, I thought
it was 2020. Honestly, it was 2020. It was a pandemic movie.
It was a pandemic movie.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I believe all of you guys.
We're all correct. Thank you for believing us, men.
I believe men. I stand with men.
Yeah, who wants to I know, Scott, you haven't seen Shiva Baby, but does anybody else
tell us what you think?
What does anybody else want to explain what give a summary of Shiva Baby?
Daniel, you're good at summaries, and I'd love
I always lean to Daniel.
And Daniel, you were the one who turned me on to this because that's how I found out about it when we were doing the podcast, and you just brought it up as a really good movie, and I watched it, and it was one of my favorite movies of that year. And
Daniel and I watched it together because we're best friends. Daniel, put your hand up.
This is true. Oh, sorry. Same man, sorry.
Well, you
And
didn't.
it was a March 15th, 2020 is South by did the premiere for it.
And then,
Wow.
It's so
But it was
good.
virtual that year, obviously. Or was it even?
That's like the day before LA's lockdown, or is that the day of?
Yeah,
LA?
More or less.
I forget if that even happened then.
LA's lockdown was March 13th, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the
Well, it's
Friday. I
Texas,
think the
so-
lockdown happened like that Monday.
Yes, you're right.
So I bet
because
South by did happen that year.
we saw Hot Buzz on Sunday, and we said
Friday, the 13th.
Oh, Friday, and then
Yeah.
I spent all night in a sex shop on Saturday,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then Sunday, I got some phone calls being like, "Huh, it's kind of weird up here,"
Mhm.
and then Monday shut down, and then I got
Mhm.
mailed toilet paper by everyone and their mother, and I did not need to buy it for 2 years.
Oh,
I got
Nice.
a bidet.
look at that connection.
Yeah, Shiva Baby. It's essentially about a it's Rachel. Rachel's back. Welcome back, Rachel. And she goes to a Shiva for someone family, and basically spends this. It sort of has the energy of like Uncut Gems. It's a very stressful experience as she deals with like her family and some friends and an ex and
Well, it
her
opens up. You forgot about it.
sugar
Opens
daddy,
up
I
with
think.
her hooking up with this older married man,
Mhm.
and then the man and his wife and their baby are
yeah,
at
her
the
sugar
Shiva.
daddy
Yeah,
is there.
Yeah, hooking up is a nice word for it. She
polite
is
term.
She is sugar babying.
okay. And I
But I
wish
think
I was
it's-
too.
I did not know like a Shiva is a Jewish tradition that's sort of kind of like I guess a memorial service is sort of the closest descriptor.
Yeah.
But it's like a very
Anybody here know anything about that?
Isn't it just like it's sitting with the like body in the room
Mhm.
for like 7 days, right? It's
I
like
don't
I don't know how
it's
long
like a waiting
specifics.
period.
I don't know how long it lasts, but I know that's like that. Other than that, I know
It's
that's
it's
description.
basically like I don't know if it's open casket, but it's
Oh,
like
it's
an
after
open...
it's I'm sorry, it's after the burial, and it's 7 days.
Oh,
Begins
so it's
immediately
it's
after the
after.
burial, concludes a short time after the memorial service 7 days later.
Yeah,
But it's essentially it's
it's
I
like
had
sitting
a friend that
bedside,
passed
but
who
after.
was Jewish, and they would do it was during the pandemic, so they would do daily. You could join the Shiva, and it was just like people sharing lovely things. Basically, just like a time to grieve
Montana.
and like be lovely together.
Mm-hmm.
But this is presented as a anxiety nightmare, a completely different tone than Bottoms, which rules
Yeah.
because that just means that whatever Emma's cooking up next, it will be unpredictable. And I'm obsessed
Still
with that
gay,
as a
though.
filmmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, still
And
gay,
Molly Gordon's in it.
but a completely different type.
Do we
of
know
thing.
that?
Molly Gordon's is in Shiva Baby.
No. I meant,
Yeah.
do you know that her? Oh, I thought you were saying you knew her third project involved Morley Gordon because.
Oh no! I was saying that she was in Shiva Baby because
Okay.
she's like the kind of like the old crush
Mhm.
flame of
Flame.
Rachel Sennott.
Well, that's kind of the big
rekindled.
The big conflict is that while Rachel's, I'm just going to call her Rachel, while Rachel's at the Shiva, and dealing with
Good friend.
just good friend Miss Sennott, is at the Shiva, not only just dealing with the general sort of anxieties of being around her family and being 22 and about to finish college and not knowing what the fuck she's going to be doing. Her as you guys mentioned, her sugar daddy shows up, and also her ex-girlfriend shows up. And
Love that. Love being in this room with my ex-girlfriends. It makes me so happy and feel so not anxious and not tortured at all.
And yeah, it is definitely, I will say, I really like it. I will say watching it again was not like the most fun experience like Bottoms was. It definitely, there's like a couple of things in it where I was like, oh, like I don't want to get too explicit with it, but that like reminded me of like bad habits I myself have in one way or another, and I was like, oh shit.
I don't know how to, I'm saying this in a positive way. It's 78 minutes, but sometimes it feels like 2 hours. And I don't mean that as like
Yeah.
it drags. It just feels like I want to be out of the situation type of
Mhm.
like.
It
time
couldn't be
extension.
longer because it would just
Yeah.
be like unbearable almost at times.
It's like yeah, because it just is like I'm just
Well,
I'm waiting for like a hit.
yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, it's awesome. Diana Agron's in it. She's sexy as hell.
She's
Molly
the
Gordon's in it.
wife
She's
of
sexy as hell.
the sugar daddy, right?
Sugar daddy guy. Yeah.
I really
and
like the
she's-
mom. It was really good,
God,
really funny.
She was good. She just had so
who's
much going
mom
on.
again?
Yeah.
I don't forget the actor, but yeah, she just had like she almost had her own world happening too. Because when it's when they clashed together, that's what made that anxiety even more ridden. It's like there was so much energy coming at her character at all times.
I love to
Yeah.
go back to my letterbox to see like when I watch things multiple times. And
Yeah.
this one's really funny because I must have watched it in the morning, and then Lisee must have come over because I watched it again that afternoon and tagged Lisee.
funny.
Yeah. Well, we both know that I did not watch it in the morning.
Well, I probably
wake up
watched
at
it. Was
11
like, you have to
a.m.
come
every
watch
day.
this, and then we watched.
Yeah, mornings are terrible. I could never do
That
anything in the morning.
it was like this was April of 2021, so this was like depressed era of pandemic.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
There was no time.
Yeah, all I had was time, and I was up at 7 a.m.
I'm trying to see if I reviewed this. I don't think I did. I wish I had, because I'd love to know what I said first.
Letterboxd is like a little
but-
alibi machine. Where was I? Oh, actually, I
Yeah.
can tell you explicitly and who I was with, what theater, what format. Oh, freak! This is embarrassing.
Well, I will say, as
No, that's
manic
what Daniel
as everything, as manic as everything felt in the whole thing, the one thing that felt almost slowed down was the alley kiss, the kiss in the alley. Like it felt so like earned, and it was like the best
Yeah.
like stop almost moment because that was the whole thing about that feeling of the 2 hours. Like a lot of that I want to get out of so many scenarios, but then when like that would happen, it was like no, I just want to relish in this for a minute. And it's like those are those moments that
And they
make me
kissed right.
appreciate. Yeah, that's the whole thing. It was so earned, everything about that sequence. And it's like that's what makes me want to revisit some of those things that are almost make you panic, because of those earned moments like that are so solid. That hit me the most in that entire thing. But I loved everything about it with the quick cuts, that manic approach.
Yeah. And also they're awesome and cool.
Mhm.
And I'm
Authentic.
asking them to let me join in. After strike, of course, obviously. Unless they're abiding by strike guidelines and they've gotten approval. If they want to just like sneak in and be like, hey, Lisee, oh my God, we hear that you're gay. And they're like, join us. And I'll be like, oh my God, that's crazy. I'll be in this movie with you guys. You guys will all want to like practice or sing beforehand.
It
And
sounds like
that's
you're just
how I'm
trying to
rise
use
to
the
fame.
plot of Bottoms.
You just I think you were
selfish
just wrote the
game.
sequel to Bottoms, actually.
This
Yeah.
movie is about
Okay.
you.
Or this, this is
I
actually
mean,
just your homage.
You're
I'm just saying, if I knew that I was gay in high school, I would have been a fucking nightmare. And I would have been exactly like them. The way that I was on Tinder, like with men, and I hated all of them. I cannot imagine if I actually was dating the right type of people.
Trying to picture a worse version of you, and I'm struggling.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would
Infused
be
with like
awful.
scary high school confidence, but you also like hate yourself.
Oh no!
And also
I
the
had no
reckless
confidence
abandon
in high
of
school.
every
I was
that
trying to
age.
kill myself.
Oh my God.
School.
Sorry.
Cool. That's like that actually was like a throwback. The way you just did that was like that sequence in Bottoms when Rachel was just like, so who's been raped? The way she just
Yeah.
drops that it was just this like, wow, fuck it. Okay.
I mean, honestly, I then the over the clothes stuff counts and like everyone.
Oh,
raised their hand.
that whole
honestly,
the way that played out was amazing.
it's
Yeah, it was like
genius
borderline,
because it's
yeah.
funny and also absolutely true.
So
I've
real.
never
Right,
been in a
right,
room like
right.
I'm pretty sure I could text any of my. Oh my God!
Look who's here.
Oh Jesus Christ! Jump scare.
Stepping in.
How are,
Finally,
you,
Scare.
how are you still walking home?
That's what this segment's called, is Edwin's jump scare.
Where are you?
It's
I
been
say, why is my
45
phone?
minutes.
Why can I hear this properly?
probably because you're walking in the middle of nowhere.
Where are you?
Just at MacArthur Park.
So I took so I was with a friend of mine, and he asked me to come back to his place for a bit. So I
Gay.
did, and then he kept me there. I was gonna go in and out.
He kept you
But
there?
yeah, I ended up getting high.
Oh, okay.
And I'm currently walking, and I saw a UFO in the sky, so that was cool. And yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sure that was real.
This is Edwin, everybody, by the way. People have this is the first episode they're watching. The guy that I introduced.
Why how's this better now?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
A lot better, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Cool. Okay, America, dude, man, there's some crazy shit going on out here.
I
Well,
believe it.
unless anyone has anything to say about Shiva Baby, I thought we'd briefly branch out and just talk about anything.
The movie Shiva Baby with Pam Grier? That's a great movie, man. Pam Grier is hot in it.
Nope. I wanted to talk about my two besties. They're here right now with me.
My God.
Emma and Rachel.
I'm asking Rachel if she wants to do a little more exploring, and I'm asking Emma for a chance.
My God.
Did anyone watch The Idol? Because Rachel was in that.
No. I know one thing from The Idol, and it is just the line that The Weeknd says. And let me find it, and then I will say it out loud.
It might be the same line that I have also saved. I wonder.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Yeah, there's only one line anybody knows from that show, and it's this line. So
I just needed to know The Weeknd was involved, and that was my out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here, you say the line, Connor, and I'll tell you if that's the one that I'm thinking of.
Well, you go. Oh. You do. Let's do the opposite.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear
Oh
the
my
line.
God, what's
God.
happening?
Lisee's gonna
I sent it to
read.
Daniel. I sent it to Daniel. I can't find it.
Okay.
I
I can't tell. I've never seen it, and so this is just a screen capture that somebody has maybe modified because this line is so stupid that it feels like a fake line.
It's not. It's real.
But
real.
it's
I know
it's
was,
him
yeah.
saying there's so much cum, and it's all coming out of my penis. I can't believe it.
Out of its
There
fucking
is
mind.
so much cum, and it was all coming out of his penis, and he couldn't believe it. What do you mean? It's unrealistic.
I thought that feels like a bullshit line. That feels like a fake line.
No, it's real. It's a real line.
I mean, how this show didn't just
he has
have
some
legs
other ones.
beyond legs. I don't get it.
I know.
How will we know how it ends?
How will we know how it ends?
Oh my God.
But yeah, no, I actually watched a bunch. I watched Emma's 2 short films, including the original Shiva Baby short, also starring Rachel Sennott, and then I also watched all 3. I guess they're like webisodes of Io and Rachel Are Single, a little like skit thing they had on Comedy Central. That's really funny, and you can find it's each episode's like 5 minutes long. And those are really funny. I would say Emma's 2 shorts are definitely like, I guess they were made at NYU. I guess we'll talk about that first. Emma's 2 shorts, I don't have a lot to say about them, but they were made at NYU, and I was watching them, and I was like, these are good, but they're definitely student short films. For better or worse.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But if anyone's seen Ao and Rachel Are Single, it's funny. That had some of this similar, like, vibe to Bottoms, I would say, in certain
Makes
ways.
sense.
Where,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Pure, so.
There were like little like insane jokes. There's one episode of it where the premise is that Rachel has invited all of the men she matched with on Tinder over for a party, so she can just like filter through them all at once. And at the end, obviously nothing works out, and suddenly they're all douches and bros and stuff, and at the end Rachel is saying something, and you hear some guy out of screen say like, "Hey, shut up," and like the camera pans, and some of the dudes who met there at the party have started a podcast, and Rachel is like dismissed by them, and she tries to turn to Io, and then she turns back again, and Io is on the podcast with the dudes going like, "Boys will be boys, I'm all about my boys." And just a lot of really, really silly, really funny stuff. And then I think probably the thing that is the most like Rachel's big thing was Bodies, which she's hilarious in.
Yeah, it's great.
That was awesome.
Yeah, she was so good in that because she has such a she's the comic relief in a comedy, and that's to say that she usually gets the best jokes, or she'll cut if they need to cut the tension. It's usually something she says, and that can be hard to pull off because sometimes that can kind of feel like a hat in a hat. But she plays it really, really well, and her character was great. Instead, it was I'd say a breakout character. I really like that movie. I thought it was well done. One thing about that movie, I know when it came out, people were calling it a satire of Gen X. I don't think it is.
Gen Z.
Gen Z, yeah, sorry. Gen X. I got confused real quick. All the flannel, all smoking cigarettes.
Different movie.
Reality bites, man.
About reality, yeah. Then Ethan Hawke showed up. And... No, Gen Z, yeah, there was a satire of Gen Z, but I don't think they were making fun of Gen Z specifically. I think it was just the first movie that captured what Gen Z sounds like when and it was that was authentic. And
what are you talking about?
Hey, old man,
you cut out there for a second.
I love Gen Z.
Be careful.
Gen Z is awesome, and they're my. I don't really know which one I am. I'm in between.
Lisa, I was gonna say. I will say about Bodies, they're kind of on the cusp. They're most of the characters are Lisee's age, so they're sort of on the cusp in between. And Lisee isn't, that much younger than I am because I'm not an old man. And I guess Edwin's now the youngest person here. How old are you, Edwin? You look lost.
You know what, man, dude? I'm looking at the skies, man. I'm fucking paranoid now, man. I'm really high, man. This is no good, man.
You gotta go home.
I'm fucking going home, Connor. I'm fucking doing it, man.
You haven't seen Nope yet?
Yeah, I have seen Nope. Dude, a lot of activity in the air, man. A lot of activity, man. I don't know what the fuck's going on, man. God damn. Why does light will fucking change?
It's like a TikTok video being made right now, maniac in LA just screaming at things.
Where are you? What corner? What corner are you at? Ardmore and something.
I'm right by. Oh, you go, Jeep.
You know what? Let's not get more specific than that because I don't want to dox you.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, man, I'm alive. I'm a slow.
Maybe don't yell at everyone. You might not be.
Speaking of bodies, my favorite line in Bodies is, you know what? Your parents are middle class. I thought that was beautiful.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite line was, just let her have the podcast.
Just let her have the podcast.
Yeah.
Literally. Let me have the podcast.
Let me have it. I have.
Or they're not as nihilistic as they look on the internet. That's just what they want you to think.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
But yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do, especially Emma Seligman. Her two movies right out of the gate have been boom boom. Shiva Baby was one of the best movies that year. Not that to be fair, not a huge accomplishment considering that was the pandemic year. So but still very good. And then to me, Bottoms is a step up of I'm so excited to see what she does. Yeah. And yeah. Unless anybody's got anything to say about Rachel and Emma, we'll move on.
Rachel is Twitter's princess, and I miss her every day.
Yeah, Twitter doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. It's X now.
And we all
it does in my heart.
We love.
Elon calls it Twitter in his tweets. So he's like, oh, the thing about Twitter, blah blah blah, and you mean X? And go, yeah.
Are you back home? Finally?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Either that or just a random person's house. I've been watching a lot of VHS, man. That whole series. So I'm everything I've been seeing lately, I'm just it could be this.
Where's my baloney? I need my baloney. Where the fuck did it go?
Baloney?
Yeah.
This is how they start.
You know this is being streamed live to the internet, right, Edwin? All right. Well, we're gonna start. We are going to move on to one of our final segments of the show. Welcome to Connor's Wicked Games, sponsored by Chris Isaac. Every week, like Jigsaw, I like to play a little game. And this week is actually a little special. Oh, Junie cameo! Oh. Not to make everyone sad, but I'm really missing my dog lately. So I like seeing the...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Aww.
It's okay, you can see June whenever you want.
Yeah.
Understandable.
For this game, everyone will need a buzz-in word. So, can everyone give me a word that'll be their buzz-in word? Daniel, I'm gonna put you on the spot first.
Corn.
Horn.
Corn.
Corn.
That's a vegetable.
Okay. Lisee?
Go to me last.
Brian?
Is that could be your phrase? Go to me last.
No. I just have to sort through all the inappropriate ones. I'm not allowed to use.
Yeah, that's my problem as well. That's where I immediately just want to go.
I can make them for everyone.
You could say buzz.
I'm a 7-year-old child. It's lesbian.
That's mine. I'm just gonna say lesbian.
Okay. Scott?
I'm gonna say.
Oh, you're muted.
I've been silenced. I'm gonna go with buzz. Yeah, why not? Simple. It works.
Great.
Classic. It's clean.
Brian?
I'm gonna go with Bam.
Bam?
I'm gonna keep. Yeah.
Edwin, what's your buzz-in word gonna be for this game?
Edwin's buzzing word is scab.
It's give me a second. I'm gonna find the answer in his goldfish.
No, give me like a simple
Goldfish.
word that you're gonna say when you know the answer.
Okay, goldfish.
Okay, so you'll say goldfish when you want to buzz in, because today, and hopefully I can nail this transition and it's not too awkward. Today, we are playing.
It's the greatest.
We're playing Lesbian Jeopardy.
Oh.
And so,
wow.
Let's see. Okay, cool.
I was made for this.
So can you guys see the Jeopardy screen?
Oh, I can see it.
I can see it. Looks wonderful. I didn't expect to see such a thing.
So yeah, I made this using. I'll go ahead and shout them out. Jeopardy Labs, a cool website. Yeah, this will be. We're gonna do normal Jeopardy rules. I even have a final Jeopardy question after this board. And I guess as the newcomer, Lisee, and as the only lesbian present, it makes the most sense. This is the end result. You can choose first. We have 3 categories: lesbian actresses, lesbian characters, and lesbian filmmakers.
I would like lesbian. I'm so worried about getting all of this wrong. I would like lesbian actresses for 300, please.
For 300 lesbian actresses. This comedian, who was recently spliced into a Netflix film and then made the trek to streaming show stardom.
Buzz.
Scott, what do you think?
Tig Notaro?
You want to rephrase that?
Who is Tig Notaro? Sorry.
That is correct. Who is
yeah.
Tig
Oh my God.
Notaro?
Lisee, just to be fair, I'm going to let you know you're brand. This is your first game with us. Scott is a sniper.
Scott's been dominating these lately.
That's a champion of champions. So I'm just going to let you know
Scott,
what you're in for.
I will end you.
As soon as I saw this game, I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna have to like give up the crown. There's no way.
No,
Yeah.
I to be like, just, you know what, the world, everybody play like they play. We're playing. This is.
I'm just
that's
distracted
fine,
by
Ed.
watching Edwin have a full-on come to Jesus moment with his goldfish.
Chances of me winning this game is very low because I don't know people's names.
Scott, what
my
category?
problem, too.
What would you like?
I'll take lesbian filmmakers for 100.
Sister filmmakers who, before showing us the real world, started their careers with a career thriller.
Can I do it while you're still talking? I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You have to do it at the end of me talking. So who does it next?
Buzz.
Daniel does. I picked Daniel as the lesbian.
No, whoever Connor
Daniel.
heard.
It's me. I'm sorry, Lisee.
Homophobic.
I'm sorry. I gotta go. Hey, it might be homophobic, but them's the rules. So, Scott.
Who are the Wachowski sisters?
Yeah, who are the Wachowskis? I'm not sure which one it is, to be honest. And you know what? They're white, so it's fine. Scott, what would you like to pick next?
I guess we'll go. Lesbian Filmmakers 200.
Cool. And so you have to wait until I'm finished, and then you say your word.
Okay.
This French filmmaker has been on fire for over a decade. Plus, she didn't take a fucking decade to make Girlhood.
Lesbian.
Elise.
Oh,
I only know one French filmmaker who's a lesbian. Is it Celine Sciamma? I have no idea, honestly.
Yeah, who is Celine Sciamma? You got it right.
I won.
This website's really cool. I'm like using it now in practice, and
I did not expect to be doing this.
No, this looks fantastic.
Lisee, it's your call.
Oh my God, lesbian characters for 200.
Lesbian characters for 200. A cheerleader sent to conversion therapy where she finds true gay love in a now cult classic.
Go fish.
I think I heard Edwin first, slightly, but then Lisee gets it.
That's fair.
It's the character, by the way, and you have to phrase it like Jeopardy.
Okay. Who is, but I'm a cheerleader, Alex?
That is the name. That is the name of the movie, so you actually lose the points.
Whoa.
That's Jeopardy rules.
Whoa. Let's hold it the fuck up. Let's calm down here, right? No, I deserve to get that point.
No, you don't.
I deserve it. All right. I need this, Alex. All right.
I need this.
Lisee.
Man.
Who is Megan?
Yep, that is correct. Who is Megan Bloomfield? Absolutely.
How the hell am I supposed to know that, Alex? How the hell am I supposed
The category is lesbian characters, not lesbian movies.
Watch the movie.
Yeah.
I saw the movie on 35 millimeter. Where were you? Exactly.
Sounds like
Probably being an authentic lesbian somewhere.
Probably having gay sex.
Yeah.
Probably fucking.
All right, Lisee. The gay sex haver gets to choose next.
Lesbian actresses for 200.
This TV actress who famously came out on television and was later revealed to not be so puppyish herself.
Buzz.
I feel like I heard Daniel first.
Yes, Daniel. Yes.
Who is? I mean, a full-on brain fart. Who is Ellen DeGeneres?
That's correct. Who is Ellen DeGeneres?
My brain was like Elaine.
Elaine.
That's false. Yeah.
I think I did a decent job of writing some like Jeopardy-esque questions with those little like the puppy because the puppy episode. Sorry, I'm trying to fish compliments from people.
Right, yeah.
Hey,
I
Connor,
think you're doing a
nice
beautiful
fucking
job.
Daniel.
Hey Connor, I noticed that you did a really good job with this.
Thank you.
Yeah,
What
this
about,
was
lesbian
unexpected
filmmakers
greatness, Connor.
for 400.
Yeah.
You do lesbian filmmakers for 400. Mostly known for acting, this American artist has also written many crazy good projects, including an infamous horror comedy.
Man,
Lisee.
I don't know if this is right, but who is Kristen Stewart?
Sorry.
No.
Anybody else?
All I could think about was Cafe Society. I don't even think it's a comedy. I just
Bing,
panicked.
bing, bing, bing. I think I gotta reveal it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Who is Guinevere Turner? She was a writer on The L Word, and this is referencing she co-wrote American Psycho.
I knew you were going to get this L Word stuff because I know a bunch of those people did a bunch of projects after. Damn, I just had no idea the name of anybody of those.
I forget who goes.
Wow.
I forget who
It's
goes.
still Daniel's board.
I think it's Daniel's.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How about lesbian filmmakers for 300?
The first out black lesbian to direct a feature, she now jollily runs her own production company dedicated to supporting diverse artists.
Oh, fuck.
This is your lesbian cred, Lisee. Can you remember this name?
I know the movies, but I can't think of the name.
Oh my god. Oh my god, what's her name? I'm so bad with names.
I think I gotta and move on because
We're horrible people.
who is Cheryl Denier? Director of the Watermelon Woman, and she runs Jingletown Productions. Daniel, it is still you.
Let's do lesbian characters 100. Maybe I'm being overly ambitious.
The first female chief and conductor of the Berlin Philharmonic, a groomer afraid of dogs.
Buzz!
Garn.
I heard Scott first.
Lydia Tarr!
It is Lydia Tarr.
Our queen. Our queen.
Beautiful.
Lesbians
Now
can also be scumbags.
Now, every single time I go to like the Batman
dated some of
Live
them.
or Ghostbusters Live, I always make the same joke of like, oh man, they got Lydia Tarr to conduct this.
Scott, it is your go again.
I guess I'll go lesbian actresses for 100.
This performer who said hello to one of the only Best Actress Oscars ever given for a horror movie.
Buzz.
Scott?
Who is Jodie Foster?
That is correct. Hello,
man,
Clarice.
Yeah.
That took a That was a great one.
And Scott, it's still yours.
All right, lesbian characters 300.
Hey,
All right.
real quick, Scott.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I will say these last couple are pretty tough. So we'll see how these goes.
Yeah.
A couple of dancers who have a background romance in a film recently discussed on Cinema Curse.
Damn, I don't watch that show.
I don't even remember what the answer is, to be honest, which is probably bad.
What movies have you recently discussed on Cinema Curse? Can I get a hint?
Sure, we have talked. Well, this is only our 7th episode, so pretty much every episode is recent. So we've talked about Barbie,
Okay.
Oppenheimer, To Live and Die in L.A. What was the second episode? Talk to
Mission
Me.
Impossible?
Mission Impossible, Indiana Jones 5.
Can I say a quick lesbian with a wild guess? That's not true, but I just want to say it.
Sure.
Who is Ken and Alan? It's not true.
Okay. That was a fake guess, so I'm not going to subtract points from you for that one.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, we're gonna end that one. That was Jane Leaves, Daphne from Frasier, and some other woman as Bianca Torres and Serena in To Live and Die in L.A. Like I said, very, very tough. Scott, it is still
Where
your
are the
board.
questions about the L Words characters?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't do any overlapping. There's no overlap on any of these. These are all different about different things.
Who is Shane McCutcheon?
I already did the L word question. It was Guinevere Turner. You should have gotten that one.
I wanted more.
Scott, what do you want? Actresses or characters?
Let's go actresses.
This 80s actress who served as a beard for some Beach Boys in a famously homoerotic movie.
I don't know who this is,
Oh
but
my
I feel like I
God.
should.
You're gonna be mad at yourself once you realize it, Lisee.
Oh no.
I can't think of the name.
God damn it, I can't think of her
fuck.
name either.
Beam, 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 beam.
I'm showing my ass this game.
Beam, 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 beam. Edwin, do you have a guess? Beam, beam, beam.
He's got peanut butter.
Beam. You gotta buzz in. Beam, 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 beam.
Goldfish.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Who is Demi Moore for 500, Alex?
Well, it's 400, and no, you're wrong. So you have negative 600
You
now.
thought that was
You know what?
More?
Let him take off a little bit more money.
Yeah, you should actually deduct the 700.
All right, I gotta unless somebody wants to buzz in, I gotta give it. It is who is Kelly McGillis from Top Gun.
I knew exactly.
Oh no!
I didn't know she was gay.
She was. She came out like 15 years ago.
Either.
Yeah, she came out as a lesbian.
That explains Top Gun also.
It's such a beautiful movie.
If anybody gets this one, I will be fucking amazed. But here's the last one. Lesbian characters.
Oh my god.
Don't call her a Barbie. She's the sniper in a crew of mercenaries hunting down Richard B. Riddick in Riddick, the third Riddick film.
I know exactly who played the part.
It's the character's name.
The character's name.
Yeah.
Is she in the Escape from Butcher Bay game?
I don't think so.
I don't know what.
Connor, I have to protest you expecting us to remember any fucking thing from the Connor Riddick third movie.
I gotta be real.
I've never seen any of the Riddick films. I just saw Don't Call Her Barbie. I'm imagining someone who's blonde and sexy.
All right, if no one's gonna buzz in, I have to say is who is Doll? That's what the Don't Call Her a Barbie is about.
Oh,
I don't know who Doll is.
it's the German.
Well, Barbie doll.
It's just like a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Riddick.
Okay. Well, I need everyone to know that I watch movies that I think are going to be fun.
There's great movies on the list.
I watch fun things like Red, White, and Royal Blue. Right now, I'm rewatching Modern Family because I'm in my depression breakup era. So
sick. Well, it is Final Jeopardy. Are the rules of Final Jeopardy? I feel like anybody who doesn't have points or has negative points, it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah.
It's
just down to me and
I'm still gonna win.
It's Scott and Daniel are the Final Jeopardy
And
contestant. You can also do it. You have zero money to wager.
So I'll win.
But you can still, I guess you can wager. I guess everybody can wager zero money. I guess technically Edwin can wager negative 600. Yeah. But technically, if he gained, he would benefit more from losing negative 600. But so yeah, this is normal Jeopardy rules. Everyone should sort of figure out their answer and figure out how much they want to wager. Scott, you have 600. Daniel, you have 200. Brian and Lisee, you are unfortunately both at 0. And Edwin,
I'm happy.
600.
Edwin is negative 600.
I'm still in the game, Alex. I'm still in it. I'm here to win. All right, let's do it, man. Give me the next word, Alex.
Final Jeopardy.
So true.
A euphemistic.
Yes.
I'm talking. You're disqualified. You get last place automatically. A euphemistic name like the Brat Pack from the 80s, referring to a group of queer women in the golden age of Hollywood, including Greta Garbo.
Goldfish.
Wait, say that
You have to write it. You have to think about it and think about how much you want to wager.
Yeah.
A euphemistic name.
I wager $5,000.
You got to do it privately, Edwin, and then I'll ask you once everyone's done. Have you ever seen Jeopardy before? Do you know how the Final Jeopardy works?
Yes, Alex.
Everyone does it privately.
I don't know what to do. I'm
you just shut the
confused.
fuck up. That's what you do. A euphemistic.
What was the question? One more time.
I'll give the question one more time. A euphemistic name like the Brat Pack from the 80s, referring to a group of queer women in the golden age of Hollywood, including Greta Garbo. I guess we'll start. Does everybody have their answers and wagers locked into their brain?
Yes.
Yes.
Edwin, what is your
Yeah.
wager and what is your guess? What is your answer and wager?
Okay. My wager is $5,000, Alex.
Okay.
Can you do that?
And your answer?
Who is Frank Sinatra, Alex?
All right. Brian.
I'm gonna go to another. I'm thinking still.
Lisee, do you have any guesses?
Who is Charlie's Angels, starring Kristen Stewart?
All right, Scott and Daniel, the people that actually matter. Who wants to go first?
At this point.
So you're looking for the name of the group.
The name of the group.
Oh, there was a.
I'm guessing neither of you actually know this. I didn't know it either. I did research.
Yeah.
Why would you pick something that you don't even know?
I've read a you must remember this did a thing about Greta Garbo, but I can't remember. There's an adverb.
I have to say to Lisee something that I've told Edwin multiple times during this segment of the show. These are Connor's wicked games, not Connor's sweet boy games.
Connor, I have to update my wager, sir. I'd like to change it to no more wicked quiz for 500, Alex.
This is a major segment of the show. We're doing it every week.
Quiz.
Yeah, but can the questions be normal, Alex? Something we can all get in our heads.
People got some of them.
You don't think being gay is normal, Edwin?
All right, Daniel and Scott, I'm gonna need answers and wagers from you guys.
Okay, I wager $100, and my answer is the lovely ladies.
Daniel,
I like that. Do you give partial credit if part of it's right?
maybe it depends.
I'll bet it all. It's something. I think it's something lesbians, but I don't know the first words. Angry. It's the angry lesbians. It's not that. It's something. I think it's something with lesbian in the title.
Well, Scott wins and Daniel lost it all, meaning that Daniel, Brian, and Lisee actually tied for silver medals today because of that.
That's what I tried.
None of you guys got the right answer. The correct answer is, what is the sewing circle? The sewing circle. It's apparently a real term.
Wrong thing.
Greta Garbo.
Sewing circle because they're using scissors.
I will. That's your assumption.
Greta Garbo was referred to as the furious lesbian.
Apparently that was a thing.
Love that queen.
Let me mark everyone's. Edwin's the only one who didn't get a medal because he had all those horrible that horrible debt he owed.
Alex, I'm still in the game. I had a few mishaps, but I'm ready for Final Jeopardy, Alex. Let's go.
The game's
Put me
over.
back in, man. What?
The game's over.
Oh, did I win, Alex? Oh man, dude, yes, I got Final Jeopardy. I did Final Jeopardy.
It's hard to listen to you talk, Edwin.
I'll say, Scott, you have the best right now. You have the best overall score out of everyone who has been on more than one episode. Because there is somebody who's been on one episode and got the gold that episode, and then hasn't been on any others. But you have been on. Ashley was on the very first episode.
You're gonna have to arrange it maybe because once Scott gets to like another status, you have to have a big like challenge off of like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
One-off
have me do it
gold.
too because I'm the best at this game.
Of course, I was got a caveat to that as next.
Have all the winners.
But yeah, to end the show, we've got it's time for
Whoa. Where the fucking song is at, man?
I'm playing it.
Oh. About goddamn time.
Do a dance, Edwin.
Bro, fuck you, Daniel. Ah.
I want to do that
threw
thing
him
from that
out.
video. It's like,
Edwin, do you have anything? Do you have anything specifically sapphic you could maybe show us? Any sort of
whoa,
posters?
you know, dude, Alex, I want to
I have a few things.
don't get us banned.
Okay, all right. What am I doing here?
Don't get us banned. I don't think.
Daniel, like I can tell you run a lot of productions. The way you said that was just such a like quick enough where you're like, I'm not causing a riff of anything. I'm just delivering this. This fucking message has got to go through now.
I do know that
My hands are the joke.
Oh, she's showing her. You can't see you right now, unfortunately. We're just seeing Edwin, but we can hear you. We can hear everybody.
Wow.
That is unfortunate.
Last podcast on the left got banned from Twitch for showing the baldo, which was a dildo for your balls. I can't explain that.
A dildo for your
No, I know
balls?
how it works.
Wow, I gotta Google that.
No, I know what that is. Yeah.
She can imagine it.
No, I know. Yeah. It's handy.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually. I see. I thought you were making a joke with that name. That's what it's called.
It's called the baldo. I'm not joking about that. It is a product called the baldo that you can buy. Edwin, show us something.
Yes, Alex. I'm grabbing something right now. All right, here we go. There's a bunch of random bullshit. The nude bomb, where a bomb drops and you're all naked, and yeah, it's the original Get Smart movie.
I've seen that.
It's great. It's a masterpiece.
No, Mamma Mia though.
Yeah, no, Mamma Mia's garbage. It should burn. Okay, all right, here we go. The Bates Motel, not the TV Fox X bullshit. This is the real Bates Motel here. This is Universal Archives. Put this son of a bitch out.
What is that?
Yeah, it's something up here. It's Bud Court. He meets Norman Bates in the mental hospital. Norman Bates dies. He gives him the hotel and basically brings it back to life. And weird shit starts to happen. And yeah, it was supposed to be an anthology show, but never occurred.
What year was it?
This is 1988.
So wait, is that like a pilot?
Yes, this was a pilot
Okay.
that never made to air.
Oh, cool.
It's got Bud Cort and Laura Petty. It's actually really good. It gives you closure to what Norman Bates would have done if he, met another person that's, similar to him, but could also help.
I'm sorry.
So that's kind of like a cool thing.
I'm sorry, Edwin. I got to go to Lisee. She was holding up something.
Thank God.
She had.
Thank God. Okay.
Wait, this is only my segment. All right. What's going on
She's
here?
taking it over because she had stuff.
Shut up.
This is
Lisee takeover.
this is lies. This is CIA propaganda, man.
This won't get us banned. My vintage Playboy.
Nice.
But I'm only showing that one. My hands. That's gay. DM me on Instagram. My scissors tattoo. That's gay. Two ladies kissing. That one's gay. And then my Julian Baker 7-inch vinyl record
7-inch
for Red Door
7-inch,
and Conversation Pains. And let me just say, she could give me something else at 7 inches, if you know what I mean.
I think we do. We do in fact know what you mean.
Walk the listeners
Also,
at home through that.
my I would be okay. I'm not going to get us banned. And then also my face.
The thought process right there was amazing. Just that visual storytelling. Is what we're getting.
Well, let's anything else? Anybody got anything they want to shout out? Anything when they want to plug? I was going to shout out to I'll go to Lisee next, but I was gonna shout out two DC Comics miniseries I finished recently that I would like to recommend. United by title, but nothing else. The Riddler Year One and Gotham City Year One. Year One being the name of a very famous Frank Miller Batman run, so it's kind of used a lot. The Riddler Year One is written by Paul Dano and is actually like a 6-issue origin for his character in the Batman movie from last year. Cool. And it's really good and has a cool format. Like the 5th issue specifically is like the whole issue is formatted like his like notebook of plans, essentially.
Oh, cool.
Is what
nice.
You're reading.
Nice.
And then probably an even stronger recommendation, Gotham City Year One is a noir about this guy, Slam Bradley, back in the time of like Bruce Wayne's grandparents. Just sort of dealing with racial tensions in the city. It's a really interesting, really beautiful looking, has a cool like retro art style to it, and I would recommend both very highly. Tom King wrote that one, and he's one of the better. He's a writer who, the more I read about him, the more I read of him, the more I'm like, oh, this might be one of my like favorite dudes right now. I'm
nice.
But yeah, Lisee?
Oh my God. Okay, first of all, if anyone's hot and single and wants to DM me at Lisee Metcalf, but also let me plug all of the queer people. Okay, so listen to Short Frenzy on Spotify, okay, or else listen to Gal Pal on Spotify, or else listen to Gabby's World on Spotify, or else. Let's think. Please, executives, be nice and let the strike end so I can work again. And get rid of my credit card debt.
Yeah,
because we're racking that up.
Yeah, we've never mentioned it all. We're covering modern shows, but like pretty much everyone here is like very much in support of the WGA, and I mean I think I've even said it before. Like, I think we've had conversations off mic about how, like, I think it's funny when, like, the, not to toot my own horn, but people can confirm that I've said this unprompted before, that I think it's funny when the executives are like, oh, this is so rude. In my opinion, I'm like, they're lucky that they aren't getting dragged out into the streets and getting their fucking teeth kicked in. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, if they need a volunteer to do it, just ask me.
Like,
Jesus.
it's fucking absurd. Like those numbers that came out today, where it's going to cost WB $300 million because of the strikes, but it would have cost them $50 million to end it. These guys are fucking ghouls.
Well, and they also know they can take losses now and throw that in the pile. Like things that were like weird write-offs or like bad projects or things that you just want to like make money, things go away. You can just blame it now on that too. It's just another movement of it where you're like, oh, cool. That's just going to let's evolve that way.
Yeah.
I actually agree with Bill Maher. I was pro-strike, and then I heard his take, and I was like, man.
Yeah, same with David Fincher. I was like, you're right. Both sides have good points.
Yeah. I mean, when you put it that way, I'm like,
we love a centrist.
I will say, as someone who, I went to AFI, and there was a lot of sort of internal politics there about what people thought about the directors. And I will say, some of the stuff with this strike definitely has not unconfirmed opinions I've had about people who are like mainly just directors, because the DGA fucked up, in my opinion, by not striking.
Yeah.
A bunch of fucking, they're like, can we be the special boy to the producers? And the producers go, you are my special boy, patting them on the head. And
that's fair.
Yeah, that's a pretty great description of what went down. I'm
going to shout out Trash Mex, my t-shirt, and See It on 16. They're two LA/SoCal boys putting on some really interesting programming around the city, both on 16mm for See It on 16, and Trash Mex, who has a website, trash-mex.com, all about Mexican genre film from the 70s to 2000s. 1,000 Things I've Never Seen. A lot of really dope stuff. Doing a lot of great work. And they take their stuff all over the city together and separately, and it's really cool. Check them out. Trash Max.
We should get them on here to do something that'd be fun to talk because we talked to them. They were in the line with us for Evil Dead Rise, right?
Yeah.
They're super chill.
Lovely folks.
Yeah, great people. Anybody else got anything else?
We forgot to mention it, so I'll just mention The Bear is amazing.
I just started it the other day. I watched 4 episodes. I don't even like TV. I watched 4 episodes.
Yeah, same. I've been talking about it nonstop, right?
The Bear is one of the few TV shows that I'm watching.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of TV, but it's definitely worth it. So
it makes me miss Chicago.
Music is so good in it too, especially the second season.
Yeah, really great theme. I think the second season, like it really comes together. Like the show, what it's doing.
Absolutely.
It took me a few episodes in season 1 to like get on board, but now by the time that second season ended, I was like, this show is amazing.
I think because you see how quickly those characters evolve into just such really good places for everybody, and it's interesting there to see each journey, and it's so tight but very, very well done every step of the way.
Yeah, I love it.
But yeah, I want to go ahead and preemptively thank Brian Robert here for composing our outro theme. I want to say, please like our videos if you see them online. Share them with friends. Our last episode on YouTube got a dislike, which isn't a huge deal, but only one other person gave it a like, so it has a 50-50 split right now. So please,
pretty good.
Pretty good. Please like the videos, and I'll go ahead and say this: if you're gonna dislike the video, post your name and address in the fucking comments, and don't be a fucking pussy coward about it, you fucking big bitch.
I've seen a lot of YouTube docuseries lately about how these things happen.
I'm gonna post your social security number, you idiot. Disliking our last
Your
episode.
credit card information.
Why don't you stand behind your fucking opinions? Big.
By giving me some money. Post your banking account info and routing number.
But yeah, check us out. I'm posting clips.
Tag your friends in the comments if they've ever committed a major felony.
Yeah. I'm posting clips at CinemaCurse666 on TikTok and Instagram. And yeah.
If you do that, please tag me. I need the people to know where I'm at.
I will 100%. I need to post clips from last week's episode, to be honest, because I haven't done that yet. And next episode, you guys have been asking for it. It's our Haunted Mansion special. Haunted Mansion fever continues to creep across the country. Please remember to social distance from people and wear masks, and we can hopefully deal with this shortly. But I'm just joshing. That's my usual joke. Next week this is also going to sound like a joke, but it's real. Assuming my friend Bobby is going to be joining us, Robert Vinfer is going to join us for the Weekend at Bernie's special next week. We're going to talk about Weekend at Bernie's 1 and Weekend at Bernie's 2.
Those were summer favorites as a child growing up, so I know they're that second one especially.
And Edwin, you better be on time for that one.
What? What's happening?
Next week we're doing the Weekend at Bernie's special. You better be on time for that one.
Yes, Weekend at Bernie's. Yes, yes.
We'll figure it out. It'll be Wednesday or Thursday evening next week, whichever works for you. We'll figure it out. But anyways, yeah, I think that's it. Thanks everyone for joining us, and yeah, I'm gonna start the outro. Goodbye, citizens.
Bye. Bye. Thanks for joining.